Now, a lot of y'all Nintendo fans might get mad at me for making this video, but I'm not trolling at all. I'm just stating my opinions and facts on how I think that Nintendo was getting out on you guys as fans, how they're holding back on you. Like I said, I'm not trolling in this video. Now, let's get started. Now, we all watched E3, stuff like that. Um, People been saying that Nintendo's conference wasn't that good. In fact, it was one of the most horrible ones. And I kind of have to agree. If they didn't give you a price or a release date of the Wii U, like that's one thing that people were anticipated for. They wanted a price or a release date on the Wii U, and I think that they held back on you guys as fans of this. Like, I think y'all deserved a price or a release date, one or the other, or both. Like, y'all guys deserve that. Why didn't y'all get a release date? No, I think Nintendo's holding back on you guys. And it seems like history repeats itself. Let's get started. Like, with the Wii, the Wii has good gameplay. I like the Wii somewhat. I mean, I'm not a real big fan of it. But here's how I think they're holding back on you guys. First of all, the specs on the Wii. It's not it's not even close compared to the PS3 or 360. Nowhere close. In fact, the specs of the Wii is in the era of the PS2 and Xbox and GameCube. And I'm actually going to talk about GameCube later on in this video. But anyway, the Wii, I think, could have had better specs. Like, people will say that, well, it's not always about the graphics, it's about the gameplay. And that is true. But graphics do attract me to playing a game. I don't want to play a game with graphics that aren't that great. I think we could have moved on. You see what I'm saying? Back in 2006, I expected the Wii's graphics to be at least a little bit better. It didn't have to be the same as the 360 or PS3, but it should have been a little bit better than the PS2 and Xbox. You have to be real. Come on now. The same thing's going to happen with the Wii U. Like, the graphics really isn't that great on the Wii U, or it's still with the current generation we have right now. So the Wii U's really not a next gen console from a graphical experience, spec wise, that is. I'm not hating on the Wii U. And since y'all talking about graphics and stuff like that, like how could they have, how could this be expensive? That's what I want to know. How would it have been real expensive for them to do that? First of all, the Wii never had a DVD player like the PS3 and Xbox 360 does. They don't have that. So how could this be real expensive for them to make the specs better? There's no way that should have happened. Something just doesn't seem right. It seems like they held back on you guys. Like I said, I was going to go back to the GameCube. Alright, the GameCube had better graphics than the PS2. I'm going to admit that. As much as I like Sony, I will admit that the GameCube had better graphics than the PS2. And you also want to know something else? It was cheaper, and, you know, the specs was better, you see, and they only play video games, no DVD player or nothing like that, cheaper, and they had better graphics, you see. So you're telling me when we go to the generation from the GameCube to the Wii that they couldn't have a step in specs, especially if they wasn't using a DVD player? As you see, like, don't it cost a lot of money to put like a DVD drive or whatever into these devices, and it will make the consoles cost more? See, the Wii doesn't have that. They put their specs or they put hardware of like motion controls into their device. I don't think it would have cost that much more. I mean, the PlayStation, Xbox got what's it called? You got the Move and Connect. They were attachments. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Nintendo is just a video game company. They don't have all the DVDs and all that stuff in their devices. You see? That's why I feel as though they're kind of holding back on you guys. I feel as though the specs could have been better. I feel as though the Wii U, with the Wii U, there could have been a leap. There should have been a little bit better than what you see in today's generation. I think they could have gave you this. Now, you guys will say it would keep the price down. And like I said before, how though? They don't have no DVD player in there. Plus, do you expect that the gamepad of the Wii U to be cheap? I don't I don't think so. That thing's gonna be about $100. I think that's part of the reason why they didn't give you a price, because they're kind of afraid to show you what the price is going to be, and people will be disappointed and not want to buy it. That's what I think it is. You got to remember too, that tablet controller is not HD, even though the console is. I think that the tablet controller, if it's going to cost like a certain amount of money, that should be HD as well too. And then one more thing I want to throw in too is about the 3DS. Like if you put a regular DS game into a 3DS, I heard that that cannot be upscaled to 3D. I think y'all should have deserved this. I think y'all should have deserved 3D on a regular DS game. I think y'all should get that. Why couldn't they do that? I expected a little bit more from them, you know what I'm saying? I would want them to do something for you guys. Like, I don't want to see y'all company fail or anything like that, but I wish like they would have put better specs on your devices, or they would have upscaled regular DS games to 3D on the 3DS. I think y'all deserve something like that. I think you guys should get something like this. Why did Nintendo hold back? Those are just the feelings that I have. I mean, if somebody can come here and explain this to me, I want them to explain that to me. I mean, I have a video similar to this, and I'm going to actually put that in my video responses, or the link is going to be in the description. But anyway, guys, like, favor, subscribe, dislike, whatever. I just want to know your opinions on this. Do you feel as though Nintendo held back on you guys? Or do y'all really going to be a drone or anything like that and still love them all the way? I think Nintendo held back on you guys. I think y'all deserve better products, at least with specs and stuff like that. I think y'all deserve it. Remember, they don't have a DVD player in their devices. Anyway, guys, I'm Drake Bone 777, and I'm out. Peace.